So Bethesda dropped some really cool information about Fallout 76's PvP multiplayer. We've got brand new details about a new PvP game mode. Well, it's not exactly a game mode. It's more of a PvP radio station. I've got all the details about that. Plus, I'm going to go in depth about all things PvP multiplayer and how it works exactly. You know, can you take a level 10 player and have him face off against a level 50 player? Is that viable? Is that reasonable? And how does that work in PvP versus PvE? We're talking about a lot of brand new details and also VATS in PvP as well. A lot of you guys are wondering, how in the world, Robbie, does VATS work in PvP? Well, welcome back, my fellow Vault Dwellers and Wasteland Wonders, to open world games. Let's dive straight into PvP. First of all, we're going to start out with that brand new radio station. But, oh yes, I want to remind you, if you are new to open world games, be sure to subscribe, turn on that bell notification icon, because you will receive daily updates about Fallout 76, because this game is going to be evolving over time. You're going to want to be in the know, especially during the beta. But yes, let's go straight into the details for you wanting to get into this. So, let's talk about this PvP radio station. It's kind of a new game mode. It's not exactly a game mode. So how does this work? So yeah, you're going to be accessing something called Hunter Hunted, and you access it as a radio station from your Pip-Boy. Now, when you tune in, you'll receive an assassination target, but get this, you're also marked with a bounty on your head as well. Now, it's super important to remember that if you just want to PvE, you know, just go and do co-op against AI and stuff like that, you don't have to worry about this Hunter Hunted type system on your Pip-Boy. You could just ignore it outright and just keep exploring. Of course, you may run into some random player that may want to initiate PvP with you. But outside of Hunter Hunted, you only get marked as a murderer if you kill a player who does not want to PvP, and thus you would get a bounty on your head. We'll dive into the bounty system, all that stuff here in just a moment. But from the event, the recent gameplay event, it seems that engaging in this PvP type game mode, or this radio station, will grant you better rewards outside of just going up to some random player in the open world and engaging them in PvP in that way. So there is a reason you would actually want to try this game mode out, it seems. I mean, this radio station out, it seems. So, yeah, give it a try, and we'll see how the rewards actually work out in this, you know, PvP radio station. I'm extremely curious, to say the least. All right, let's dive into some more details about PvP and leveling, and let's talk a little bit about balance and stuff like that. So if you are a low-level player facing off against a high-level player in the game, you won't have to worry about being completely dominated. So the big thing you will have to worry about with Fallout 76 in PvP compared to your level is your gear and the skills you actually have and stuff like that. So leveling is more balanced out. I guess it would work in the same way, you know, Destiny has their PvP going on. You know, they have different systems for PvP versus PvE. Also you have to remember that if you are level 5, below level 5 in this game, you don't have to worry about PvP at all. You actually cannot PvP until after level 5 as well. Now, if you are wanting to experience a game just as like that PvE co-op experience, or just solo it and face off against creatures, and you're wondering how level 5 character will face off against a level 50 creature, well, it's not going to be like PvP in that sense. You will be dominated by, you know, an AI creature if they are level 50 and you're a super low level. So it's not the same as PvP. PvP, again, is going to be, you know, evening out the playing field for sure. So let's talk about, you know, your rewards in PvP and that sort of thing. So yes, you will be getting caps and junk in PvP as well. Now, with leveling involved, if you are a high-level player facing off against a low-level player, you will earn much less. Now, this discourages high-level players from bullying low-level players. So keep that in mind when you are going out there trying to hunt down, caps, that it might not be viable to really hunt after these low-level players. Now, let's talk about a PvP match, what it feels like from beginning to end. So, you go in, and the first thing you do is you shoot your target. That's going to initiate what is called a slap. And you won't do much damage at first, but you're basically telling that player, I want to engage in PvP with you right now. Now, what happens in the next few moments is critical. The player who's getting attacked can hold up a white flag, which is called the pacifist flag, to request peace. Or they can outright attack back and initiate a proper PvP match, so to speak. So if you are engaged in a mutual PvP battle, the victor will not become a wanted murderer and will receive both caps and junk items from the other player. However, if the player did not agree to PvP and you still kill them, well, you will become a wanted murderer, and when you kill that player, you don't receive any caps. In addition, wanted murderers are marked on the map and have a bounty on their heads. This is the risky part. If you are a wanted murderer and are killed by a bounty hunter, the bounty they are rewarded is taken from your caps, so be warned. Also, if you end up with 0 caps and have a bounty on your head, you're going to be taking a debuff to your character, considering you are in debt now. So it sounds like a complicated system in some ways, but a lot of this does make sense. And you guys, let me know, are you going to be the type of, player that engages in PvP battles, or are you going to be more interested in the co-op stuff and facing off against creatures, staying on the story path, and stuff like that? Now, if you are killed after a PvP battle, what then? Well, you can opt to respawn on your teammates, your squad, or near your last location near the murderer to exact revenge immediately. It's up to you. So you do have several options after being killed in a PvP battle there. So I guess the PvP battles can just keep going on and on and on. Remember, you can see other players on the map, so they're going to be very easy to track down. You can send them messages, say, hey, I want to co-op with you, or you want to do some PvP battles and stuff like that. So maybe you can get like a proper arena going. I imagine someone or a group of players are going to try to do that. Now, a little bit more about going pacifist in this game using that white flag. So the white flag, of course, can be used to make sure you find other players so you don't accidentally engage them. So it's a great way to ensure you can find randoms. So enable that white flag and you won't do damage to other players accidentally, so you don't cause any type of confusion. You're there with your white flag immediately. They maybe have their white flag on, and hey, peace. Also, it's noteworthy to mention at the beginning of the game, anyone again below that level 5 cannot engage in PvP. So everyone is learning the ropes, and then after level 5, the gloves are off. So let's talk a little bit more about VATs in PvP. So the VAT system does return in Fallout 76, and this time it's all done in real time and based on your proximity to the player and how closely you can get your aim on the player as well. So there's no pausing this time around at all, which is going to make the action frantic, and it's going to really test your skill for sure. Now, what I have heard from users that have actually play tested this and have experienced this for themselves is it sounds like it's a bit unwieldy to use and needs improvement, but Bethesda hasn't been shy about this game being a very work-in-progress experience right now, because it is going to be beta and stuff like that. So they are really wanting your feedback when you guys play this, when the beta rolls around here. So keep that in mind. Don't be shy. Give your feedback. Be brutally honest with the systems and what you like and dislike. Now, PvP is also going to be centered around the workshops and various confrontations and world events that will be happening in the game. So it's not just going to be like where you're roaming around hoping to engage someone in PvP, or just, using that PvP radio station. Sure, you could do that, but there are those workshops which you have to remember give you better resources. You're going to be using tools like the Harvester to get those resources, extract those resources, and players want those resources. So they're going to be attacking your position, and you're going to want to fortify it with the help of your buddies, or just do it by yourself, whatever, with a settlement with, turrets and stuff like that, so you are prepared to defend these workshops. Of course, there's going to be world events that are triggered, and they haven't given too many details about the various world events that will be happening, and I imagine that they will be adding more in this regard down the road. But those are also going to be encouraging both PvE co-op experiences versus big legendary creatures, which will offer major rewards, and then they will offer that PvP type experience, battling over those legendary items that are rewarded and gifted as a result. So that's something to consider as well. Remember, a lot of people are also wondering how is the loot handled in this game if you are in a squad. Just to touch base with this real quick. So if you are in a squad, everyone is going to be gifted something no matter what if you defeat that creature. Now, if you land the killing blow again, you will be gifted that extra XP. So that's important to remember. So if you want that extra XP, you are going to want to get in there and fight it out and not let everyone else do the work. All right, now it's time for top comments. I love doing this. Remember, leave your comments in the comments down below so they could end up in a video. You never know. They could end up in a future video, so stay tuned. So the first top comment comes from Cheyenne Exotics, who says, one thing that bothers me is the negativity. I understand this game isn't for everyone, but when it was announced it was called an experiment. People should stop comparing it to other games. It's its own type of game. Want classic Fallout? Play the first 2 games. End quote. So, yeah, I see that this is a battle of single player versus multiplayer, and it's always going to be something that happens. And, it's definitely something that's very fragile to discuss, of course, because people love Fallout. They think of it, when they think of Fallout, they think of single player. Me personally, I'm excited for something different. I cannot wait to hop into this one and see what happens with it. But it's also good to know that Bethesda is going to continue the single player experience with other games like Elder Scrolls 6, Starfield, and even Fallout 5 is going to be heavily centered around that single player experience as well. The only thing is, I do wish for solo players that really want to get into this is they did have NPCs. That's my biggest gripe right now, and I do hope that down the road they do consider adding NPCs no matter what as an update. I would love to hear the news, NPCs are coming to Fallout 76. That would make my day. Alright, so Dylan says, be honest, say the frame rates are terrible and the world is empty, and to all those saying it's pre-beta, the frame rates will improve, ask yourself why any company would ever allow people to play their games who are influencers if this is the result. Bethesda knew these videos would be all over YouTube and not once said, hey guys, can you mention the frame rates will be better, end quote. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of complaints about the frame rates in this game, and that definitely is something that needs to be improved. I've heard that there's areas in the games that are more optimized than, areas around, I think it's Greenbrier and Vault 76, and players did go outside of those areas to explore, and because of that, the frame rates did dip. This game seems like it's going to have, a rough patch at launch, and I hope that they really roll out the patches for the performance issues, because that would be such a bummer. I have a theory. I think we're going to all end up being, at least, a lot of the people that are stuck on consoles will end up buying a PS5, and I think they'll probably re-release this game maybe down the road so that you can get those better frame rates. But I hope they do plan around really optimizing this game. For the most part, the frame rates look pretty good in areas, and then other areas it just struggles, I've seen. So hopefully they get that fixed. I get the concerns. We'll see what happens with the beta. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned here to Open World Games for more Fallout 76 and open world gaming goodness. Remember, smack that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notification icon. I will keep you guys in the know about all things Fallout 76. You better believe it. But guys, again, thank you for all of the immense support lately on the videos. I'm so glad you guys are, at least I hope for the most part, enjoying the videos. So stay tuned for more. And I will see you guys soon enough in the Wasteland. Take care.